You will want to start leaving yourself an extremely long tail for sewing purposes later. And you can do this two ways. You can do it as if you were casting on for knitting, so I'm going to show you that first. Take that long tail and put it over the top of your working yarn. And then just watch me carefully. This is how you would cast on for knitting. So just create a loop, just like so, and place it onto your hook. This will make the beginning look just like the end, so if you're real particular about it looking the same throughout, this is the way you're going to want to start. Each loop on your hook here counts as a stitch, so make sure that you have 5 to begin with, and regardless of how you start it, you're going to work it the same way. So this is how you get 5 loops on your hook using cast on method. And now I'm going to show you how to do it more of a Tunisian crochet way. You will also want a very long beginning tail for sewing purposes, and start with your slip knot, chain 5. We will not be working into the back hump of these stitches. We are going to be working into the back loop of the stitches through these back loops here. So in the second chain from your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then do that in each stitch across, leaving the stitches on your hook. Now this is how you will work it regardless. You need 5 loops on your hook before you can start this strap. So here I have 5 loops. You're just going to yarn over and gently draw through all 5 loops. These vertical bars here are the stitches that we are going to be paying attention to, so there should be 5. And we are going to be working in between each of those. So pull your stitches apart. In between the first 2 vertical bars, you are going to look for the loop that we drew under there. You should see 2 horizontal bars. You're going to go in between the 2 of them, grabbing the top one. So now between these other 2 vertical bars, we're going to look in between. There should be 2 horizontal bars. You're going to go in between them and grab the top one. And you're just going to continue doing that between each vertical bar across until you have 5 loops on your hook. Once you have 5 loops on your hook, you're going to draw through all 5 loops. And you're just going to continue what you just did before. There should be 5 vertical bars, so spread them apart to where you can easily get in between each one. And going between the 2 horizontal bars, grab that top one. Going between the next 2 stitches, grab the top horizontal bar. Once you have 5 loops on your hook, yarn over and draw through all 5 loops. I'm going to show you one more time. Spread your stitches far apart so that you can get in between them. Going between the horizontal bars, grab the top one. Yarn over and go through all 5 loops. This is what your piece should be looking like. You're just going to continue in this fashion until you get the length that you want. And I'm going to show you how to end it as well. So I'm going to add a ring to mine, so you're going to fasten off, leaving a very long tail. Now just bring that strand all the way through. Just pull it all the way through. Grab your yarn needle and thread it into your yarn needle. And then grab your wooden ring. Now going from front to back, take your yarn needle through there, and then in your very first stitch, we are going to go through that vertical bar from front to back. Again, go through your wooden ring first, from back to front. And go in the next vertical bar from front to back. So just continue doing this all the way across until you have all 5 vertical bars attached to the wooden ring. This is the last loop here, but we want it to be a little more secure since this will get some wear and tear. So I'm going to go through the wooden ring one more time. And then I'm going to weave this tail in. So I'm going to grab a smaller hook because this yarn has polyfill in the middle. I'm just going to take it along the path of the other horizontal yarn so that it doesn't look different. So I'm just going to drag it along those vertical bars for several rows. Once you have it weaved in for several rows, I also recommend sewing it with a needle and thread so that tail doesn't come out. This is going to be a purse strap, so you really want it to be secure. I'm also going to show you how to attach it to the beginning side. So grab your long tail that you started with and the yarn needle. And regardless of how you started, it should work the same. So I'm going to go through the wooden ring from back to front and then through each stitch from front to back. Like I said, if you start the way that I started here with the chain 5, it's going to look slightly different on this end than it does on the other end. If that bothers you, then I recommend starting with the knitted cast-on stitches. If you start with the cast-on stitches, they should look identical on both ends. But you are still going to attach it to your ring this way. You could also use this method to attach it to some swivel clasps. I just had these wooden rings on hand, and so that's what I used. But you would use the same exact method to attach it to the swivel clasp. So just like I did on the other side, I'm going to go through the wooden ring again to further secure it, and then weave in the tails through each horizontal row. I should have left myself a bit longer of a tail. But as you can see, on one side they do look pretty well the same. But if I flip it over, you can see that I started with a chain instead of the knitted cast-on stitches. So if that bothers you, you may want to start off with the cast-on stitches. But that is it. Once you've sewn down those tails, you're good to go.